Okay, good evening, everyone. It is yet another opportunity, another moment, and we are ready for everyone. Okay, I can't have access to the YouTube right now. I don't know if someone will be helping me and be dropping it in the WhatsApp chat box.
Victoria,
Yes, I can hear you.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
We need to manage our time very well today.
All right.
So we will be trying to look at how we can suspend all questions to the end when all the facilitators and the coaches have been through. Then we can begin to focus on questions because many of them are extremely busy people and they won't want us to keep them. So Mr. Charles, and let me even confirm if this guy is responded. Okay, Mr. Charles has responded. Let me call Evelyn. Evelyn has not responded. So, in case our major guest does not turn up tonight, so we have to start preparing our mind. The guy from Australia, Mr. Charles is turning up, but the other guy who's going to talk about jobs in Australia, Canada, and New Zealand is not responded since morning. He has a Zoom link.
Mr. Rama.
Yeah, Mr. Rama. So in case it doesn't turn up, we just have to manage what we can do with Mr. Charles and quickly switch over to the
Mr. Ayola.
Yeah, to Mr. Ayola has just 30 minutes. He has a meeting by 8:30 and he's coming in by 8. So whatever we are doing with Mr. Charles, if Mr. Rama does not turn up, we have to run it up by 8:55 at most, 8:55, so that we can quickly bring Mr. Ayola in. Then I'll beg Mr. Charles to stay on till after Mr. Ayola so that we can handle all the questions together.
All right.
So I'll be supporting you since Emmanuel is not able to, in case Emmanuel is not able to join on video.
All right.
I'll be supporting you. How many people are watching on YouTube? 5 watching on YouTube.
Okay.
So we have just 2 minutes. Once it's 2 minutes, let's start. Anybody that is not on will join us.
Okay.
I hope Bethel is here.
Yes, because she's actually going to be the first person.
Oh, Bethel is not here. Let me call. Tonight is looking somehow, but we believe it will end well.
Sure.
Not starting good at all. Even people on YouTube are not, people on Telegram are not. Let me call Bethel.
Hello, Gigi.
Yeah, Alpha.
Hello.
Alpha.
Fine.
Okay, so I believe we can start now.
Yes, I think so.
All right. Good evening once again, everyone. I'm Alfred Victoria Luadamilola, and I'm going to be moderating tonight's session. I want to welcome our coaches in the building. Coach Bethel, I can see you. You're welcome. We're welcoming our participants. I believe they are going to join us soon. If you're streaming from YouTube, you can drop your comments, your name, and where your location, where you're chatting from. Let us know. So
Good evening, everyone. I'm excited to be here. Dami.
I'm also excited, but I feel your excitement is going to kill mine.
No, let's do excitement competition now.
Yeah, now let's drop our emoji, favorite emoji.
Yeah, you're looking good. It's good to see you tonight. Hi, everyone on YouTube. In case you're watching us from home, it's a day one evening session, and we are really, really delighted to be here once again. Got a lot of feedback in the morning. Many people saying they really, really had a nice time watching, and they really, really are saying some positive comments. So if you are joining us tonight, tell us where you're joining from. Just drop your location. Let's see if we can see you. Victoria, can you see anybody on YouTube?
I'll need to connect to YouTube.
Okay, I can see people on YouTube here. Begonia Nicholas saying good evening, Coach AJ. Ola Fak, good evening, everyone. Eniola Fakorede from UK. Wow, Fakorede, Eniola, saying I all the way from UK. Thank you very much. I'm not sure Ishmael is on this evening. Okay, so we are getting down to the business of the day. Victoria, what do we have today? We want to quickly go through what we have.
Okay, we've got a whole lot package tonight. We have special guests here, and also we have our coach here. They are going to give us their packages. And I believe today we are going to be seeing through 5 reasons why you should migrate to Australia as a nurse, and also relocating to the UK, US, Canada, Australia through study abroad. And before we start, I would like to invite Coach Bethel for her introductory address. I don't know if you're ready for us, Coach Bethel. Good evening, Ma. You're welcome.
Hi, good evening. Yeah, I trust that your day was good and you had a very good weekend. Yeah, we are excited, very elated to be here this evening. And just like we had in the morning, the first session of the boot camp, this is the second session. This is the evening session of the first day. And I want to joyfully welcome everybody, those joining us on YouTube, those joining us via Zoom. I want to say a very big and warm welcome to everybody. It's so good to see you. So if you are also excited to be here, why don't you go to the chat section and then drop some emoji. Drop your favorite emoji of love, of dancing, of just your favorite emoji, the emoji fire, whatever. Drop it. Let us know that you are also glad to be here tonight. From wherever you are watching from, West Africa, East Africa, just let us know. Share your location, share your name, share your location, and share some excitement this evening. Thank you very much. We are very happy to have you. Okay, so I will just go to my welcome address tonight by stating what I stated earlier in the morning. I quoted Henry Ford when I was giving my parting shot. So that will also be my introductory shot. He said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. So tonight, as we go through the different items, different things that has been gotten ready for everybody, I want you to have an open mind. I want you to be ready to learn, relearn, and unlearn. I want you to be ready with all your questions because there are experts in the house ready to answer you. I want you to be here tonight. I don't mean be in the Zoom meeting and then you do another thing and then your mind be here tonight so that you can get value for your time. In the morning, during the morning session, we had a lot of comments, a lot of people telling us how grateful that they are that they were able to join the session because, you know, of the different values that was brought to the table. So the same thing is going to happen tonight, this evening. I want you to fasten your seatbelt, get a pen and a paper, be ready to go on this ride with us as we would unveil what we have in stock for you tonight. So sit back, and I want to say that you can. Don't come with that mind that you cannot. Don't come with that mind of, you know, impossibility. Have an open mind, think possibility, believe that you can, and you are halfway right there. Thank you very much. Yes, Damilola.
Thank you very much. That was a lovely introduction. I can see some persons in the chat box. Emmanuel from Abeokuta, Ogun State, you're welcome. Fagbe said Day from Castina, you're welcome.
Yeah,
like
you're welcome.
Coach Bethel said, even if you're on the right track, you can get distracted, you can get kicked off. So we don't want you to get kicked off. So we want your attention. We want you to listen attentively, get your pen and paper ready to put down important things. You do not want to miss them out. Thank you very much, Coach Bethel.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. A great evening from here. And it's nice to be back here again.
Good to see you, Emmanuel.
Yeah, thank you very much, Coach. I just quickly had to sort out some things and thankfully it worked out. So I'll be co-moderating today's section, this evening section with Damilola. Thank you, Damilola, for standing by. And that was a brief and explicit introductory section message from Coach Bethel. Thank you very much for that, Coach. So we'll be moving to the next thing on our schedule, which we have some special guests in our midst. Tonight's section is going to be explosive. Trust me, when I mean explosive, it's going to be very explosive. So we have two or three good guests in our midst that will be speaking to us on why we should migrate to the UK, USA, Canada, Australia, etc. And I'll be bringing the first person on board, which is Coach Charles Oguntade. Coach Charles Oguntade. Coach Charles, let me quickly read his brief autobiography. Coach Charles Oguntade is a forensic specialist of over 20 years of professional practice as a credentialed mental nurse and he currently works for Goulburn Valley Health, Australia. Mr. Charles has a master's degree in mental health nursing from the prestigious Monash University of Melbourne, a certificate in leadership and management in health, diploma in alcohol and other drug management, a certificate in healthcare training and assessment. He's a member of Australia College of Mental Health Nurses, and he has presented papers in different international health conferences. Mr. Charles is the founder of Loloway Consult, a firm that is actively involved in workplace professional development, clinical supervision, health consult, and an accredited mental health first aider trainer. He has passion for community development, volunteering, and youth mentoring. He currently volunteers for different community and government organizations, in which he was recently appointed as Global Goodwill Ambassador for his humanitarian work and a democracy ambassador for community engagement on social needs and civic education and multicultural mental health ambassador. Some of the organizations he has served and continues to serve in various capacities include Vice President, Nigeria Society of Victoria, Secretary, Nigeria Society of Victoria, Secretary General, Global Operation for International Association for Psychiatric Nurses, co-founder, Inspire Nurses Network Africa, President, Shepparton Ethnic Community Council Board, Vice President, Yoruba Heritage and Cultural Association of Victoria, Chairperson, Goulburn Valley African Community Task Force and Goulburn Valley African Australia Community Organization. Member, Shepparton Rotary Club. He is also a Fairly Community Leadership Program. Wow. With a virtual round of applause, please do make welcome Coach Charles Ogunsade. You are welcome on board, sir. You have the floor.
Much. Thank you for the warm introduction. I'm just gonna start my video so you can see my face. Can you see my face? Thank you. And am I able to? Yes, thank you. Am I able to share a slide as well? Is that possible?
Yeah,
Yes.
you can.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah. Okay, give me 1 second.
And I must say, Coach, you are looking good.
Ah, thank you. Looking good is a serious business.
It is. I go with that.
And I'm so glad to be here today. And it is a very unique opportunity for me, and I can never be anywhere else. And I'm sure if you are familiar with time, you probably know that it is 4:15 a.m. in Australia now. So we are like different to the rest of the world, and that is what makes us unique. And it is unique indeed, and unique in a very, very positive way. So welcome everyone, and wherever you might be joining from, in the UK, in Nigeria, you are online, in Canada, in Ireland, anywhere you might be around the globe. Like to warmly welcome you all. Like the facilitator have said, my name is Charles, and I'm a credentialed mental health nurse, and I practice both within the government circle, and I also have my private practice as well. So today we'll be talking about why do you even need to consider Australia at all, if you are looking at relocating and practicing anywhere across the globe. And I always boldly says is Australia is a home for all. Now, but I know for a fact that Australia is usually the last place that anyone would think of when they are planning to relocate to advance their career and to maybe for most especially to for better opportunity for anything like that. And I, for one, is one of those people. I never thought of coming here. It never crossed my mind. And here I am. I've been living here now for 17 years. And I never for any day regretted my action or look back and said, oh, maybe I've done the wrong thing and I needed to rethink and retrace myself. And I remember the very week that I got my visa, that I told a few people that I'm relocated to Australia, even including my own family member. The first question they asked me is, what are you going there to do? That end of the world, even people that know nothing, virtually next to nothing about Australia would tell you as if they are the former or the current Prime Minister of Australia. But one good thing is that I never regretted taking that action, and I've been loving it. So why do we need to even come to Australia at all? Why Australia? Look, some of the facts that people might not know about Australia. For quite some time now, Australia has always been voted as one of the top 12 happiest countries in the world to live in. And is envied by all. It's very laid-back country, very carefree. We don't take things too serious. Like and one of the key things that Australia, an average Australia, focus on is family, relaxation, and all these two things are very top priority for us. We're very, very laid back. And there is a common slang in Australia that we call no worries, mate. And when we say no worries, mate, we meant it by every single word of it. We don't stress ourselves. We don't worry about anything much. Even this world today, when everybody talks about fear of a war, maybe Russia is going to release that nuclear weapon, or they're going to fire, like North Korea is going to fire an intercontinental ballistic. Whoever is going to fire any intercontinental ballistic, I can guarantee you that it's not going to get to Australia, because we are far, but we are still very near. We are far from everywhere, and we are very near. And Australia is a very lovely place. I live in Melbourne, in suburb of Melbourne, and if you check your Google, Melbourne has always for 5 years in a row, Melbourne continued to win the award of most livable city in the whole world. And even since the time of a pandemic, Melbourne is still among the first 6, which was the most recent one that was done last year. And a lot of things that you need to consider, like the cost of living, the easy way of raising a family, your career prospect, and a lot of things. We will go into that. So then I will want to briefly talk about the economy. Now, Australia is, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you that Australia has the best economy in the whole world, or maybe we're doing fantastically well than any other economy out there. We are not that big. We are very small. Australia is a population of 25 million people. But then when you talk about the human population, we have a very large land mass. And land mass in the sense that when you look at it this way, Western Australia, which is a state in Australia alone. You can go check this fact on Google. Western Australia alone is bigger than the whole of Belgium, Spain, France, and Germany combined together. And I mean that's a single state, and that's how large actually Australia is supposed to be a continent of its own. But we're so blessed with a large landmass area that you can travel hundreds of kilometers without even seeing a single residential settlement. You could see a lot of farms, and that's something that Australia is very, very proud of. We are we're so involved with farming, all sorts of farming, crop, livestock, and whatever you can think of. We're so good at it. And then Australia is so good at mining as well. We are heavily involved in mining, and that's one of the things that drives the economy here. And the currency, the Australian currency is well recognized globally and is very, very strong. We have the Australian dollar. And the funny thing about Australia is that we just borrowed our lifestyle from everywhere. We are so close to the British. The Queen of England is still the head of a government in Australia. In fact, till tomorrow, we still send the royalty to Buckingham Palace. And way of life, like some of the things you see in Australia, they're much more very version to what you can see, most especially in North America. The houses are very big, the roads are very big. I'm not bashing the people in the UK, but we are big in everything. I know few people online in UK and knows what I'm talking about. We are big in everything. The houses are very big, massive. The roads are very big, and surprisingly, we spend $1, which we call Australian dollar. And even though we have our allegiance with the United Kingdom, so we borrow from everywhere, and we enjoy that. We're doing really well. And then when you talk about even the average wage of an individual that is working, the average wage is around $20, but almost double what an average wage in America is. You probably might be aware if you travel a lot. Even people that wait for you in a restaurant in America, they probably pay them like this to survive in that country. I have a lot of people I know, like someone would have maybe mentioned anything about healthcare assistance, and it will surprise you that per hourly wage that an American service pays an healthcare assistant is around averagely is around $8. Nobody is going to collect that from you in Australia. And then we have an average wage when you
I can't hear anything from my hand.
Okay.
Charles, you are muted.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Oh, you are sounding distant.
Okay, what about now?
Oh,
can you hear me?
Perfect now.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. And I was just talking about an average wage of average salary of a nurse, of a registered nurse in Australia. You'll be looking at something around the range of $75,000, which is something quite very significant. And when you compare that to the cost of living is pretty pretty good in Australia. You'll be looking at if you live in a suburb. If you live in the suburb, you're looking at renting a house, like a very decent two-bedroom house or three-bedroom house. If you live in the suburb, you'll be looking at averagely $350 a week. And the same thing goes with the order and all that. And we have one of the best, fantastic health care system, as you probably be aware. And I know you enjoy that in the UK as well. If you are a resident in Australia, healthcare system is free for everyone, no matter what you want. And we have one of the best healthcare systems in the world, like talk of anything research-oriented technology in fact, Monash Health is one of the first hospital when IVF was still quite a thing of magic to a lot of people. You can verify all of this in Google. Monash Health in Melbourne, Australia is one of the first hospital that actually perform IVF and very successful at it. Now let's come back home. The nursing career, if you are into that field and you looking at maybe opportunity within a nursing field, you cannot get it wrong. Australia is one of those places that you want to look at if you're looking at advancing your career in nursing. I did that 17 years ago, like I said, and I never had any cause to regret my action. One of the good things in Australia nursing field is that it's well regulated in terms of career progression, in terms of remuneration. It is very hard for anyone to underpay you or to because it is something that the government makes sure that everybody is well paid, and I've mentioned that before. The average salary that you get as a starting nurse, and I can give you specific now, is to be around $65,000, and yeah, which is even much more better than better than an employer pays in the UK. I know for a fact that the UK will probably start you on a 25,000 pounds per annum, or if you're lucky, maybe you have 26 or 27. Which I know, like we love our pounds, is a very strong currency. But even saying that, if you convert 25,000 pounds to Australian dollar, that would be like around $40,000. But that would be around $40,000. Nobody is going to accept that from you in Australia. So that's a very good thing. And without not focusing on the monetary aspect, Australia has a career itself. This is a country that I know, like when you are relocating, you've been practicing from overseas and you relocated here, you don't lose your experience, your years of experience from overseas, like any other person from into that country to practice. But in Australia, it's quite a different way this thing is structured. They will recognize the experience you are bringing from overseas, wherever you are coming from. That will still be recognized, and that will be factored into when they are placing you to start on a job. And look, by all means, you can actually apply for any role that you want. And if you feel confident and you think that you can excel in that role, good for you. And I'll give you an example of that. I remember, because I probably need to let you know, my wife is also a registered nurse. We both practice in the same industry. And I remember when she joined me in Australia, her first job after she got her registration was as a deputy manager in a public health facility. This is not a small small private clinic in one corner. This is one of the big teaching hospital. He started in that hospital, first job in Australia as a deputy manager. And even myself, when I remember when I started, I was placed as a grade 2 nurse, which is the next grade. Next grade after the starter nurse in Australia is on a grade 1 and was put on a grade 2 year 10. Within 3 months, I applied for a role of a deputy manager, and I was one of the successful applicants into that role, and it has been a roller coaster for me for many years, just growing myself. And yes, and you can advance your career into any field. It's so easy to work and study, to gain more knowledge and to venture into a lot of things that you would like to venture into. So just simply saying to practice nursing and to advance your career into any of the specialty field. If you are looking at relocating, Australia is one place that you should be looking at. And then one thing that is always very important to us is raising family. This is something that we hold very dearly to ourselves. Like a family is something that is very, very important to us. And I can tell you now, I'm quoting this from statistics as well. Australia is among the best 10 countries to raise a family. And the indices that are used to considering making this decision and considering this area is how Australia itself considers where they stand about human rights. Australia has been considered as a family friendly, and it is an environment that allows gender equality. People that no matter what you decided to be, you will be respected. You will be accorded everything that is a due for you. And we are just very happy. We are very happy people. We are happy, go lucky. People are very friendly. They approach you. Everybody is willing to assist you in whatever way that you and even the education for the kids. The crime rate is very low. We have a good education system, like the public education is free for all kids, and you find yourself is an environment that still holds that humane family values at a very high, very high standard. And we just distance from war, we distance from conflict. So even because we are far, that we use the data to our advantage to a greater extent. And we have a very welcoming culture, in Australia. And if you are someone coming from Africa, that you probably be thinking, oh, well, maybe I'm just going to be so isolated in that place. I wouldn't have anybody to talk to. I can assure you now that you were wrong. We have fun. And when you look back into my profile, you probably will see like I even have more than enough to do. I've got my hands filled with my community engagement. I'm involved. If you are around here in the next 2 weeks, we're going to have Ilea jams from our very own Owambe Dre Africa Life Band. And this is the fun that we have. Like every weekend, we have a Yoruba class that the kids actually go learn Yoruba. It's quite saddening that I travel to Nigeria. I see a lot of folks family members, they will ensure that their kids never speak a Yoruba language in their house, and even in the school that the kids go in Nigeria. But here we learn a Yoruba language with fun. We have a Yoruba class that the kids attend, even the grown-ups that have been here for a while, that they attend every weekend. We do cultural events, and we do all that. We just try our best to get the best out of what this country can offer. Then and one of the misconceptions that people have had before, even somebody that doesn't know where Australia is on a map will tell you that Australia weather, oh, that's a country, the weather is so terrible. I can assure you that Australia has the best weather that you can think of. Australia has one of the best weather that you can think of. We are one of the few countries in the whole world that celebrate Christmas in the summer. And when you are in winter in Europe and in North America, we are possibly in a spring or in a summer here in Australia. And you might be surprised that if I tell you that it doesn't snow in Australia. If you needed a snow, you have to go to a mountain top and pay to watch a snow. We have to pay to watch a snow. It doesn't snow here. So that's one of the things that you see. And the weather, we have this beautiful outdoor life. The sunshine is so good. Even in summer, it could be maybe hotter than what you will expect in some other part of the world, but it's quite a very considerable, is well manageable. So our outdoor life is something that we enjoy really so much. And yeah, so we have so if you are the one that the type that worries so much about no, I can't deal with terrible weather like probably maybe what you get in Canada. I don't envy them. I don't think I can live in that country. It's too of an outdoor life. Australia is a place for you. And then I will quickly touch on a pathway to citizenship. If you I think I believe there is nothing wrong in that. If you live in a country, you want to be a part of that country, and our visa process in Australia is one of the pathway is one of the best. You have a different pathway that you can become a permanent resident, and you can become a citizen in Australia. And is quite a very fluid, very easy to follow. You don't have to wait for 10 years. You don't have to wait for 15 years before you become a citizen in Australia. I remember, in fact, like I think it's only now that you probably need to wait for like 4 years. When I first came to Australia, I got my permanent residency after 6 months of living in this country. And it wasn't like this was not 100 years ago. So don't think I'm talking about the Stone Age. I was only here 17 years now. I got my permanent residency within 6 months, and I became a citizen in exactly 2 years. The very week I clocked 2 years, that was when I became a citizen of this country. And it's so easy, and even when you become a citizen, nobody sees you as a second-class citizen. You are Australian citizen, and nothing like a first class, nothing like a second class. And if you are a permanent resident, in fact, your kids, if you are a resident of Australia, your kids can actually apply to become a resident on their own if you feel, or become a citizen on their own if you feel that if you maybe you are looking for a political appointment in Nigeria, and perhaps you want to become the governor of your state, and you don't want to hold a dual citizenship. You might want to remain a resident of here, but that does not stop your children of becoming a citizen. And Australia allows a dual citizenship. You can hold a citizen. In fact, I have friends here that have citizenship in 3-4 different countries. So that opportunity is there for you, which I've alluded to as well, is a high quality of education. The education system from a primary to university is of one of the best standard in the whole world, and high quality of healthcare services. We have like a universal healthcare services, like what is obtainable in the UK as well. Healthcare system in the public system is free for every resident. And we have one of the best health practices that you can think of. The great outdoors. This is one of our signature thing in Australia. We love our outdoors. You see a lot of scenery. We spend more time in the outdoor because we enjoy the very good weather, and we have a good bushland, spring, everything, spring water, everything. And Australia is surrounded by water. So all the kids here, they know how to swim right from day one. People enjoy their time in the ocean, in the beach, everywhere. And we have a delightful multicultural system. In fact, where I live, where I reside, the suburb where I live, is being dubbed the United Nation of Australia, because it's a melting point for all culture. You find everything, every culture, every race that you want, you find them in my suburb. And this is simply put, Australia for you. Here I am presenting Australia to you. If you are thinking of where to relocate and where to go, don't think further. Australia is a home for all. Thank you, everyone.
Wow. Thank you very much, Coach.
I feel like leaving UK to go to Australia now.
Wow.
Even you,
don't feel, just do it.
Wow, I'm just imagining the kind of life that you are living in Australia, having the Owan bears and the other good things alongside it. So it's not only in Nigeria that we do have our Owan bears. That is quite okay. I'm really blown away. Thank you very much, Coach Charles Oguntade. Thank you very much. We cannot but appreciate you. So without wasting much of our time, we'll be moving to our next speaker, which is Coach Rama. I don't know if he's on this call.
Mr. Rama is not here right now. We can't get hold of him now, but I will be just briefing us on why Mr. Rama is coming on board, probably to fill that gap, because he's highly unreachable now. But he will always be with us in the community, so we can reschedule his coming. I don't know what happened, but basically speaking, thank you very much, Charles, for giving us that appetizer. And I must say that one of the reasons why Mr. Charles need to do this is for those of us that have our mind fixed. Our mind, I've spoken with a few people and their mind has been fixed is UK. And because of that, the opportunities available outside UK is passing them by. And we are conscious of why we are doing what we are doing. We are not just like every other person out there talking about relocation. Why we are unique in our relocation activity is we have a target, we have a goal. And what is our goal? Our goal as a coaching organization is to ensure that we motivate, inspire, empower, and drive investment in as many Africans as possible that are willing to leave Africa before the end of December 2022. And that means we are saying, it doesn't matter where you are going, just leave. Can you please leave as soon as you can? Get out first, then you can start sorting out other things. That is exactly what we're trying to do with our coaching student and our mentorship community. Because the more close-minded you are about this location, the more you are shutting out other opportunities that are available that you're not even aware of and you can explore. So just in addition to what Charles have said, Mr. Rama is coming here to show us the exciting opportunities that are available in Australia when it comes to job opportunities. So we have a poll. I'm going to share my screen now just for you to understand what we're saying. We had a poll that we'll put up, sharing my screen and showing you what I have here. Can you see my screen, please?
It's coming
Yes,
up.
it's coming up.
Okay.
It's up.
I don't know if you can see the poll results. The poll result is not showing. So I need to stop sharing and start all over again, right? So we had a poll taking, oh, sorry. Okay. Share results. I feel nobody's seeing my screen, right?
Not yet.
Yeah. Let me share again. Share screen, yeah. Share. You should be seeing my Zoom screen now.
No, yeah, you are sharing your laptop screen, but we can see the poll up. The poll is up.
The poll is up, right? But you can't see it.
I'm seeing the poll now. I don't know if other people are seeing it.
Is any other person seeing the poll?
No,
Because
not
I can't
yet.
see my screen. Anybody seeing the poll?
Not yet. We can only see the screen of your laptop.
Okay. Okay, so let me quickly see if I can read. So we have the poll saying, what is your most urgent need? Study abroad or work abroad? 100% of the people who took part of the poll, about 21 people said 100 said work abroad. Then what is your most preferred destination abroad? 72% of the audience for this poll said UK. 17% said Canada. 6% said US. 6% said Europe. And 0% said Australia. Okay, that is just what I want to share. Now I'm stopped sharing now. I'll stop sharing now. So that shows that many people are not even looking at Australia as an option as we speak. And that begins to occur. This is not the first time we're seeing that. Over the last 1-2 months, we've seen that. And that was one of the reasons we started to go to the background and decide to ask, isn't that there are no opportunities to migrate to Australia, or people don't have information and people are not using it? And we discovered that people actually have a lot of misconception about Australia. People have a lot of misconception. It's too far. No, people just come up with something in their mind based on what they've heard, based on one thing or the other, and they just shut off their mind. Oh, it's too cold, it's too far, But at this time that we are now, we are trying to do a mindset with transformation and realigning with programming. And that is that begin to open up your mind and have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, a plan D, a plan E, a plan Z. That is the only way you can actually get faster ahead on this journey, so that whichever plans comes first, you are able to exploit. So I have a lot of people who have been wanting to go to Canada, have been wanting to go to US. They've been trying that for 2-3 years now. And then in the last 3-4 months, they have been bombarding us that, look, let's just come to UK. Forget about Canada, forget about US. Let's just come to UK. When we get to UK, we can start thinking, how can we move? It's very easy to move from UK to Canada to US than moving from Africa to Canada or US. So people are beginning to open up their mind and look at what options do I have. And that is why we want everyone to begin to look at that particular opportunity in outside the United Kingdom to begin to see what options they have. I'm also going to share my screen to read something to you. I wish Mr. Rama is here. This is his expertise, would have shared a lot with us. So let me share this one with you here. Okay, I guess you're seeing my screen again. This time, I think you should be able to see my screen very well. Yeah. Okay, so we have for Australia, we have what we call the general skilled migration visas. It says that the general skilled migration visas allows foreigners to migrate to Australia without having an employer sponsor their visa. To be able to apply for general skilled migration visas, you must be skilled in occupation that is in demand in Australia. Applicants are invited to apply for general skilled migration visas based on factors such as their occupation, work experience, education, and English ability. General skilled migration is the most popular form of permanent migration to Australia, as it allows visa holders access to a permanent work visas without being linked to only one employer. And these are the types of visas that we have. We have the skilled independent visa, which is by far the most common skilled migration visa. It allows foreign nationals who are successfully granted a skilled independent visa permanent residence in Australia. Then the skilled nominated visa allows skilled workers who are nominated by an Australian state or territory to live and work in Australia, while the skilled recognition regional visa is initially an open 5-year visa that can lead to permanent residency. And so there is a lot of opportunity for people to actually look at, what if I am not going to UK or Canada or US? What if it's Australia? What if it's New Zealand? What are the opportunities available there? Unfortunately, we don't have Mr. Rama here. I've been trying to reach him. He has some exciting news for us. But I may not be able to do justice to that news. But let me quickly say, Mr. Rama was supposed to come and talk to us about something that is really exciting, and that is the what we call recognition of prior learning for migration purpose. So there is a package, there is a migration opportunity in Australia where you can actually have what we call recognition of prior learning. And what is recognition of prior learning? Recognition of prior learning is about having your previous work experience. I didn't know I'm not on video. Having your previous work experience and skills assessed so that you can obtain a qualification. And then when you gain that qualification, based on the skills you learn on your job that you are now bringing to be qualified, you get an Australian qualification. And when you get an Australian qualification, it automatically qualifies you to apply for jobs in Australia without being in Australia. And that is a very, very lovely package. And it means that while you're in Africa, you can be preparing to migrate to Australia. All you need to do is package your academic results, package your years of experience, send it to Australia for recognition of recognized prior learning. They assess everything and they recommend a course that you are going to do that will give you an Australian certification or qualification in that particular field you are. And this time around, it can be any field. Maybe you are a baker, or you are a baker, or you are a carpenter, or you are an engineer, or you are being a banker, just any skill that you have. Maybe you've spent 10, 15, 20 years, 10 years, 8 years, 5 years in that particular occupation. You can package everything together, have recognized prior learning, and then you'll be recommended a certification, a qualification that you will get. And once you get that qualification, it automatically means that you can begin to post your CV and your cover letter that you have packaged, that we've left to package as a coaching student. Begin to package it and send it out to employers, attaching your Australian qualification to the to the job application. And the job application portal will begin to select your application out of the thousands of applications because you have a recognized prior learning qualification, and then transport it to employers who are looking to hire people from overseas, and they can set up the conversation, an interview with you, and then you can begin to go from there. So that is basically what Mr. Rama is supposed to come and discuss with us tonight. But like we said, we will bring him back to the community very soon, and we'll be seeing how best we can maximize his presence among us so that we can have him. So I don't know if we can quickly take questions before we bring in the next. Charles is still here. We need to, if you have questions, let's go to YouTube. We have just 4 minutes to bring in Mr. Ayola, who has a very, very important expository presentation. And then we will be, I don't know, Charles, are you still around or you want to leave after?
I'm right here. I'm right here.
You're
can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
No.
Yes, I can.
I think it's for me.
Yeah.
I can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. And look. Yes. I'm still gonna be around. And can I just add, if you're coming here to work and to study, I think Australia will be your best destination. In fact, and this is not overhyping things, and I'm not kidding. I even have a student here that I know of a student here that actually buying a house, and they're still studying. They're looking after family back overseas, and that's just to tell you that you can earn a lot. You can earn a lot as a student, and one of the things that people do, like what Josiah have just talked about, is like a RPL in your experience. Those are things that you do from overseas that you just do as a pastime. You know how to do makeup. You know how to weave a hair. You know how to do all those things, and you just do it as a pastime. And somebody just give you, look, just take this $1,000, quickly do this makeup for me. It's something that you can do here that they will package your RPL. You have a certificate for it. They give you a certificate for doing those things that you just do, like you feel that you just having your own fun, and then you get paid. You get paid for those services, and these are things that you could do. Even coming in as a student, you feel you'll be able to sponsor yourself, pay your own school fees, and still have enough to manage yourself through. So I know, it's not something that a lot of people always think about, and like I said before, and I'm one of those people. It never crossed my mind that I'm gonna come here, and at one point in my life I just decided, okay, well, I actually wanted to go to places where most people don't go to, and I never made a wrong. I think I made the best decision of my life doing that. And I've traveled everywhere across the globe. I've visited many places. I know how I've been to many parts of Europe and North America, and I can tell you one or two things. Comparing vis-a-vis, Australia is still one of the best place to strive and to flourish. So if you're thinking of a place to go, if you're thinking of where to live, Australia is your way.
Thank you very much, Charles. I think we have please, someone is activating the live transcription. Can that person please disconnect it? Please, I disconnected it. Someone activated it again. Can you please disconnect it, please? Thank you. So I think we have Mr. Ayola here. So we have a lot of questions for you, Charles. So we just keep the questions on hold for now. because Mr. Ayolani is coming right away, right about now. And I'm really, really excited about the positive developments that we are having this period. And let me make an important announcement. So presently, there is a global project that we've just gotten involved in. And it's such an exciting project that for those who are looking at studying abroad, which is also an option, we now have access to over 180 universities across the world that you can actually get admission into from wherever you are. And Mr. Ayola is going to, he is an African representative for this particular big project, and he's going to talk about, he's going to talk a bit about it. He has just 30 minutes with us because he has another meeting now. I hope being able to pin him down today is a blessing, a big blessing for us. And we are welcoming Mr. Ayola into the house. Mr. Ayola, are you there?
Hello.
We can hear you loud and clear.
Oh, wonderful. That's good. Good
So
evening,
people
all.
have been excitedly waiting to hear from you. We're happy to see you. Yeah. I would like you to do a quick introduction of yourself. Briefly.
Okay, that's good. My name is Lasisi Ayola. I happen to be the Business Development Manager for Global Study Partners, and we are in partnership with North Africa North, and we are really handling the part that has to do with the study options. We're looking at how we can help you guys with your interest in achieving your dream and through the area of study, because that is the best way now. I have to let you know that is actually pushing and from all over the world. I have to let you know. And we're looking at how we can get you a very good course. They're looking at how to get you a very good school. They're looking at and how to get you a scholarship options and a payment options. So I want to say thank you all for coming, and I appreciate you all.
Thank you, Mr. Lasise. So basically speaking, Global Partners has made open up a lot of opportunities for our community, and we're looking at how many universities, what is the essence of the coverage. Is it only in UK or in US, or we have a large options for our community?
Yeah, wonderful. At the moment, we are running over 700 institutions, and we're running in English-speaking country. You know them. We're talking about United States of America, talking about UK, we're talking about Australia, we're talking about Ireland, and we're talking about Canada. Now, if you're not going into the Europe, we're talking about Cyprus, we're talking about Ireland, which is also mentioned earlier. These are fantabulous areas in which we have, and also we also have schools, very wonderful schools with great payment options already in New Zealand. And we also have in several other countries like in Turkey, we also have in Japan and China. You can believe it. We also have in India. So basically, it is a lot of school actually, because you have what it takes. Just name your course and be able to get you very good options that you are going to love so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lasise. So I know you have a lot of information packed up, so I'll give you the chance. You want to share your screen?
Oh, good. Yeah, sure. Let me just try and show you. When I say we have a lot of schools, I want to try and show you what I actually mean. I'm just going to see if I can, I'm going to share my screen. Let me just try and put it on a little there. Okay. So what are the school we are actually talking about? That is what I want to show you now. Believe you'll be able to see my screen right here, right?
Yeah, we can see it.
Oh, wonderful. So if you can see, this is just what I'm talking about. We're not talking about just only one school. This is 785. That's what we're talking about here. And how does this work? Let me tell you how it works. Basically, how this works is if I am going to look at a particular school that have maybe the great provider or the provider country is Canada. Let's see how many schools we have in Canada that you guys can actually apply to. If you look at it, then you'll be able to see we have 114 schools that we have in Canada that Africaners actually prepare ready for you guys to apply to. If you are looking at United Kingdom, then we'll be able to see how many that they have in place already. Hold on a little. Let me just try and do this like a provider. Now for you to see what we have, then you'll be able to see the provider country. In UK alone, we have up to 94 institutions that are accredited and ready to work with you guys. Right. Give you some minute. I think I have an issue here. Oh, wonderful. I think I know what the problem is coming from now. So, okay. I type a keyword where it's not supposed to be. All right, so you're able to see about 86 now we have now. And actually those 86, we are still counting because we have a lot of other schools that are coming on board. Now, if we are talking about United States, what are we talking about there? Now, in United States, we are talking about 166 universities. And which other state do you want me to talk about? If I want to talk about Australia, if we are talking about Australia, they were talking about 337. We are talking about 338 rather, that we're 337 here that we have and still counting. So actually, if I start checking out for you, then you'll be able to see these are wonderful options in which we have. And let me tell you, African nurses have been able to partner with us because they know we have everything that it takes to help, because the grant rate is really very good and will give you a lot of other options. Not only that, even if at all by the time you get your visa, when you get there, we'll follow you through opportunities we also get from global partners. Global Study Partner is really big because we always also give you the opportunity of even getting a job. We give you opportunity of a very good paid internship. I have to let you know that. And apart from that, we also give you the opportunity of also getting some other facility like getting an insurance quote, you know, for your program. You can actually get it on this portal. So all these are the fantastic offer in which we also grant. And not only that, we have also fantastic opportunities in which we have. Let me just try and show you one of such here, which we also have as regards scholarship. Like for example, in Australia, now I can tell you what Charles Darwin is doing. If you can see my screen, they are also giving 30% less in tuition fee. This comes up even every now and then, and anybody that is going for that particular course can actually apply and get 30% off from their tuition. And this is relevant to all the destinations. Are you going to US? We have fantabulous scholarship options that has to do with an application-based scholarship, that has to do with a merit-based scholarship, and also we have a vice chancellor scholarship, and also a lot of faculty scholarship that are available in which we are put in place. And just as you know it, at this time, we know the actual number of people we are working with. For you to know how many of such people, how many of agency we have that are working even with global study partners. If we are not good, actually, we will not have those numbers. We are having about 2,969 and still counting. I'm telling you, I manage the whole African region of the market, and probably we have a lot of other destinations that are open up, a lot of other markets that are open up, like South Africa. We're getting somebody there that's also going to be rolling that side. So for you to know, we're actually growing pretty big every now and then.
Thank you for that, Mr. Lasisi. Thank you very much. And we can actually see reasons why we need to migrate and move out of Africa as soon as possible. Thank you once again very much. I don't know if you are still around, because we'll be getting some questions.
Mr. Ayola is around till 8:30, so we can open up the floor to start asking questions, because once he leaves, I can guarantee you it will be difficult to get hold of him again.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. So I will quickly like to direct some questions to Coach Charles Oguntade during his presentations. Some questions
can we take Mr. Ayola's questions first, because he will leave us. Charles is still with us.
Okay. So if you have any question, both from the YouTube links, both from the Zoom room and the Telegram, please kindly drop your question so that we can take them. And if you're on the Zoom room, you can kindly signify so that you can be called upon to ask your question.
Okay, Lawson Rita, you raised your hand up. Do you have a question? Okay, let's go to YouTube. I think we should just go to YouTube and see if anybody is having a question on YouTube. Okay. Okay. I have a question, please. Onyeshi Susan Madu is having a question. Susan, can you ask a question? Okay.
Okay, we are getting some reactions from the Zoom room.
Okay.
And Adedoyin Oluwatosin is asking, is there anything like visa sponsorship for? Okay, I think that's for Coach Charles. Mr. Ayola, with 3 million, can one study in any institution across the world? That's from Araromi Samuel.
3 million CDs or 3 billion euros or 3 million.
I think that should be 3 million naira.
Yeah, basically because of the name, I know Araromi Samuel. It should be from my village actually. So let me just try and answer that. It should be 3 million naira. Well, with a 3 million naira, I think you can actually study, but basically because of the exchange rates now, there could be issues when it comes to that. Is that 3 million is no more money here to spend. So basically, even with the 3 million, you can actually start something very good, even with get your cars, even in UK. I have to let you know, with 3M. That is just for deposit alone. When you're deposited and you've already gotten the visa, I believe everything is sorted out. You know how you're going to rock it out and make your way and make payment. But basically, there are several of schools, like for example, even in the United States, you want to study, you don't need to pay a dime from here. The only thing you need to do is to show your statement of account. And when you get to UK or to US rather, you make a payment. Now with the 3 million, when you look at the exchange rate of maybe in Europe, you are going to Ireland. If you are going to Australia, you look at the exchange rate for Australia schools, then you'll be able to know if the deposit is within that range, then you'll be able to know you can actually do that and you get what it takes to go for visa application and you can start. The point is your readiness, your determination. But that 3 million will not cover your whole expenses or your own tuition fee for a particular session.
So you are saying with 3 million, you can get out of the country, right?
Yeah, for real. And that's what we're looking at.
Yeah. Okay. I also have a question here saying that which of the countries allows family relocation on study?
Wow, wonderful. That's a very good question. Thank you so much. I think you know about UK. We have USA also allowed that. Canada allows it, and Australia allows it. Ireland does not allow it, but they allow you maybe after study, then the student have gotten a very good job, then the student can start, inviting the family thereabout, and that will happen maybe precisely maybe after like 5 years. So we need it. So basically, we have UK, USA, Canada, and Australia.
Lovely, lovely. I have another question. Can one get a full-time study sponsorship in the USA that enables one move with his or her family? That's a tough one.
Yeah, for real. Not that you can't get out to let you know. There's nothing that is not possible. It depends. But basically at this time, we are not working with a non-profit organization or schools, actually. They are actually there to get their stuff. And no matter how we are also trying to work to get something, actually. So basically, they are not charity organization, but they can give you part of what they're earning. And that's why they give you like 30% of what they're earning. And that means you can as well try to work on getting paid for 70%, which they will also break for you. You can make payment like 2, 3, 4 times, and it's been working. So basically, that is how it works. To get that sponsorship will not be so easy. That means you must be extremely genius for you to be able to get like maybe a full scholarship.
Yeah, I wanted to say that why would US give someone a full-time scholarship and even bring your family to US? Why would US want to do that? Except that they know that if they miss you, their country is going to run down. So we have to be realistic about what we are asking when it comes to relocation. A full-time scholarship with a family relocation, I don't think it exists anywhere in the world. I am not aware of any. And maybe Mr. Ayola can help us make one happen.
No. We are not here for migration. We are study option.
Okay. So I think that's a question I have here. I don't know if there's any question on Zoom.
There is one question here that is asking if there's anything like a visa sponsorship for migrating to Australia, and my answer to that is yes. You can have and I think Josiah, you actually alluded to that before. There is one of those visa that is called a sponsored visa, the middle one, which you can have an employer sponsor, you can have a state sponsor, and it's part of, and you can even have a family sponsor. So if you have like a family, like a couple of years back now, I actually sponsored my brother that happens to be a civil engineer. So there are some on those skill list that Josiah was talking about before. You have some of the high skill that are required in Australia, like engineering, IT, anything in the health industry, even things that you really don't have your mind on, like finance and all that, accounting, if you're a chartered accountant, and all the hosts. So if you are qualified in any of those fields, and even some of the things that you really don't pay attention to, like if you're a plumber, you are a tiler, you are a bricklayer, all those skills, you will be surprised that you have a lot of opportunity in it. And then when you talk about a family sponsorship, it could be different form. It could be state sponsor, it could be a regional sponsor, it could be a family sponsor, and it could be employer sponsor. And I've done that before. So it's not that maybe I read it somewhere. I sponsored my brother. He applied for the skilled migration thing. Once he went through the whole screening thing and got his okay, that is good to go. And I put in to sponsor him, and I brought him in, and he's been here now for 15 years. He's still practicing as a civil engineer in one of the government water project in Australia. So yes, you could be sponsored. And you could come in as an independent person as well. You don't really need to be sponsored. You can come in independently on your own once you go through the process. So you could come in as a permanent resident of Australia straight from Nigeria, or straight from anywhere you are coming from across the globe.
Yeah, thank you, Charles, for clarifying that. So there are a lot of job applications and job vacancies online in Australia for overseas, for international applicants. All you need to do is meet up with a qualification that meets Australia standard, and you can become eligible for that job. And you can get a full sponsorship for you to come to Australia. And if you want to take your family along or go there and come and take your family, it is very, very possible. I think we should also mention to those who are in Africa, if you have a car, you have a house, you have a land that you've been keeping there, or you have something, a property, this is the time to sell it and relocate. Let me say that again. If you have any property, you have a car, you have a house, you have a land, this is the best time to sell it and relocate. Don't even think twice about it. Some of us who were in your shoes back then, yes, would have made that decision a long time ago. We spent so long dilly-dallying on it, but we can tell you now, we've been in that shoes, we've been there before. The best time to move and relocate and migrate is now. And if there's anything you can use to generate that fund that will push you and your family out, go ahead and do. Don't even think twice about it. I think we have more questions. Emmanuel, I can see some questions. I think we can add the Australia questions now. Mr. Ayola is still around for another 10 minutes.
Okay. Let me check the Zoom, the YouTube page to see the questions.
Okay, I think I can see some questions here saying, that one is talking about age now. Okay, I think I have it here. It's saying, where is it again? Australia, does Australia mind a person's age? Up to how many years can they give permanent resident, please?
If you are applying, the answer to that is yes and no, depending on what you are applying for. If you are applying going through the skill migration route, and you are applying for to come in, there are some, when they're doing the check testing, like it's a point-based thing. There is a point allocated to your age, because of course, if they are sponsoring you, they want to have the best of you. They want to make sure that you're able to work for certain years before you start thinking of retirement, and then you become a liability on the system. Because when you reach a certain age, then the system will have to look after you. You are not contributing anything to the system again. So there is an age peg of 45. If you are above 45, even if you are nearing 45 and you're applying for the skill migration, you probably get a 0 point on age point, which you can make up in other areas if you are very strong in other indices that is being considered when doing this. But again, saying that, and this is why Australia is so beautiful. There you have a different route. That is when you are applying as a skilled migrant. So age could be a determinant factor. But if you are coming in, through a different route, say maybe you come in as a student, you can study at any time. Nobody cares how old you are. So if you come in as a student, maybe you apply for a postgraduate studies or anything, even undergraduate study, it doesn't matter. So when you are in, you can go through a different route, which will have nothing to do with your age, considering your age, putting your age as a factor. So it depends on which. So even if you are of age, you are maybe 45 and above, you still have that opportunity. There is still opportunity for you to come in through a different route. So I would say the answer to that is yes or no. Yes and no.
All right, thank you very much for that, Coach Charles. I don't know if Mr. Lasisi still has some more time to spare with us, or we should allow him to go.
He
Because he
has
has
5
another
minutes.
meeting. Okay, still has 5 minutes. So I still have another question from here. And someone is asking, what will it take to process relocation to Australia? I think this person is trying to ask for maybe the documents or the requirements that may be needed.
Okay, for those who are interested in migrating to Australia, these are the things we'll be discussing in our 4-week coaching program. We have a 4-week coaching program where we sit you down and take you step by step to the process, and most of the things that you would need, the skills that you would need, every requirement, we're going to go through it with you. So, someone is already asking, is there available coaching for migration to other parts, to study, to Australia, to New Zealand, to Canada? Yes. So it is starting next week, Monday, and we'll be dropping the link of the coaching program in the comment section so that you can be able to access the coaching program. So I think those who are asking for it, you will get it on YouTube, and then you get it on Zoom and on WhatsApp.
And can I also mention, and I'm sure Mr. Lasisi will know this as well, Australia is one of those countries that they will actually recognize, like we've been talking about recognition of prior learning. So if you are applying to study, so all those knowledge that you've acquired, you don't lose them. You can use all those knowledge to actually gain some credit points, which you can it will be an advantage for you in some of the units that you're going to offer. You can RPL all those units that you don't have to study them again. It will be counted it will be counted for you as something that you've done. And I'll give you an example of that. I remember when I put in for my master's degree, the master's degree was supposed to be for 2 years, which is a 4 semester, but I ended up spending 3 semesters because I got a recognition for prior learning for study that I've done back in Nigeria. And what they did was to just look through my CV. And they are even the one that, and I know Josiah have had this story before. Some of you in the room might be surprised to know that I don't have a first degree and I have a master's degree. And I'm telling you now, I don't have a first degree, but I have a master's degree. And if you study nursing in Nigeria, some of us that study through the hospital-based system, the qualification they award to us in Nigeria is not a first degree when you study through nursing through hospital system. And we even struggle to get to a point that we are able to equate it as maybe an advanced diploma or something like that. And I remember when I came to Australia and I wanted to do further study, I applied to do a bachelor degree in nursing. And by the time I submitted my transcript for my general nursing and I submitted my transcript for my basic psychiatric nursing that I did at Arrow in Abeokuta, the university rang me and they said to me, "We've looked through your transcript, it's above what you are applying for. So we will recommend that you apply for our Masters of Nursing." Not Masters of Nursing with specialty in mental health. Yeah. And even when I put in that application, they also wrote me again. They said, "Look, we've looked into what you studied in post-basic psychiatric nursing. It's gone, you've delved into some of the things you're going to study in master's." So they gave me 6 months, a whole semester. So I have a whole semester of a recognition of prior learning. So I end up spending 3 semesters to have my master's degree. So everybody that talks about Tinubu's certificate in Nigeria, don't be surprised. It is possible for someone not to have a first degree and have a master's degree. In fact, it is possible not to have a secondary school certificate and have a bachelor degree overseas. Sure. So it is possible.
Yeah, sure. That's it. I think what you said is really true, and that's how it has always been actually. I think the similar thing has happened to me too. But basically, now let me just try and chip it in here when it comes to age relation and coming to study in Australia or study anywhere. The point is just that, see, age is not a restriction for study. When you come to study. Age is not restriction. The point is, please, you must be ready to close the gap. You must be ready to write a good statement of purpose. So if you're able to write a good one, oh, what are you looking for? That is what they're looking at. I'm telling you, you are moving on. So don't hide anything. Don't think nothing matters. Everything matters. If it is a one certificate you have done, I've seen somebody that have gone for a certificate, maybe on doing Oracle alone. This Oracle have been able to hand in billions of naira in a study destination. Just having that from here alone. So even what he's going for is not what is it now. It is the certificate he has already got here, the knowledge he improve on. So please, on your report, if you are giving any application for school to study in any school, please make sure you provide all the information that you are your experience, previous experience before coming in. They will look at it. They will even ask you question what you are doing here. I'm telling you during interview and the rest, I'm telling you that will be their decision if they use it to make decision, and that will be able to help you further. It could also help you in also getting scholarship. I have to let you know. So basically, I want to thank you all for your time. It's a short session I have with you guys, but basically I know I'll be waiting on Mr. Josiah so that if there's going to be anyone of interest that you want to talk directly thereabout, please, I think I have the full flesh to answer every one of you, please. Thank you, thank you,
Thank you,
so
Mr.
much.
Ayola. It was tough bringing you on board, but we appreciate you that you're able to create time for us. We have a lot of need in our community. Our people need us. Our coaching student needs you badly, as in,
yeah, sure.
We have been preparing them for this opportunity and they're almost there. So we just want to maximize every opportunity we have and see how we can get testimonies. By December 2023, December 2022, January 2023, we won't be looking back and say, oh, I remember that day that Mr. Ayola, Mr. Charles came on board. I can still remember. So we have a lot of need in the community and we're happy that all of you are rising to that need. We want to get as many Africans as possible out of Africa before the end of the year. And hopefully we are able to achieve a lot with you and everyone coming around to support. So thank you very much for coming today. We really appreciate you. And
thank
everyone,
you so
can you please drop an appreciation comment on YouTube for Mr. Ayola Lasisi and Mr. Charles Ogutade, please? Can you please drop? Let's see how delighted are you? How do you feel? What are you feeling? Are you feeling this session? Is it making a lot of sense to you? Is it making any impact at all? Are you getting value at all? Please, we want to see your comments. Start dropping the comments on the comment section. So, Mr. Ayola, we have to let you go now. We definitely will be seeing you again. And don't forget, we have a business on Monday. All our admin are waiting for you on Monday. Okay, thank you very much.
I appreciate you. You take care now.
Yeah. So, Charles, let's get back to you now. I think we still have some questions. Many people are asking some questions. So we'll get back to YouTube and start asking the question. So from what I have here, so what's the pay range for mental health nurses in Australia?
Good question. So if you obviously if you're coming in as a mental health nurse, which means like you've already you're not just starting. You've had something doing before, because coming in as a mental health nurse means you have a postgraduate qualification. So you'll be looking at, and I've talked about the average average rate before. So you will be looking at something in the neighborhood of between 36 to 40, 36 to $42 an hour as a starting point, and it ranges because it's quite interesting. Like every state and territory, they are all federated state and territory. So every state is allowed to. Every state union is allowed to regulate what they. Only just recently we actually got our pay increment. We got another 3% increment on our pay. So what that means is that what they pay in Victoria will be different to what New South Wales is paying, and they compete against each other. Every state will jack up their pay to attract more staff, and then you find out, like, if you working maybe in a remote area, you get extra incentives on that. And one thing which I believe is applicable to the UK as well, which is pretty good, is that you don't even have a round figure across the board. And what I meant by that is that the pay rate is based on if you are working a Monday to Friday job, 8:30 to 5. If you happen to be doing a shift work, you probably will find yourself in a different bracket. Say, for example, you go work on a PM shift, you get a different rate for working a PM shift. You get a different rate for working a night shift. You get a different rate for working on a weekend. You know, all those and it is just a way of encouraging people to be able to work all those hard shifts that other people doesn't want to do. So if your base rate for working a day job, 8:30 to 5, Monday to Friday, is $36 an hour, you will see your colleague doing the same job with you, maybe working, starting a work at 1 p.m. and closing at 10 p.m. or 9:30 p.m., depending on the number of hours they do per day, might be paid like a $45 as against a $36 that you are earning to do the same job. And somebody that opted to do a night shift might be paid another $48 to do the same job. And somebody that decided to come on weekend to work might be paid like a $49 to do the same job. And you still get allowances for doing a shift work and all that. So all those things are there just to motivate people and to encourage everybody to be fair to everybody. Because if I'm spending my evening, I'm supposed to maybe be doing going for dinner and doing outdoor things, or maybe spending my weekend to do to come to work, then I needed to be compensated for that. So that's what you get. But as a basic pay rate, you see something between the neighborhood of $36 and $42 an hour as a mental health nurse.
Okay, thank you, Charles. We have more questions. I don't know if Victoria or Emmanuel are there.
Yes, there's a question. I think Victoria should go ahead with it.
Victoria, do you have any question for Mr. Charles?
I think you've taken the question. Okay, there's a question about if anyone that is not in the health line can migrate to Australia. I think he did justice to that while
and the answer is yes. The answer is yes to that. So you don't have to, you don't need it to. And I'm sorry for concentrating more on the health industry, but you can do anything, and you can do any other thing. It doesn't have to be in the health industry. And I'm just using the health industry as an example because that's where I work. So, but you can migrate. I have my niece staying with me here. She's just finished a master's degree in forensic anthropology. If you do such a course in Africa, they'll probably be looking at you that you've just misroad. What is that? Well, she's just finished her master's in forensic anthropology, and she's on top of her game. She only just finished in December, and today she's on top of her game. So you can do anything else. It doesn't. In fact, I remember when she was planning to come in, I said, "Oh, well, why don't you do nursing?" She said, "No, I don't want to do nursing." "Oh, why don't you do this?" And she said, "Oh, well." But I knew when she made up her mind that this is what she wanted to do, I actually supported her wholeheartedly, 100%. And she finished, and she's doing well. So you can do anything.
Thank you for that, Coach Charles. So I would like to ask a question. With everything we have learned tonight, can we say the USA, the UK, and Canada is overrated or overhyped?
Well, without being, I will agree with you 100%, Emmanuel, that it is overrated. It is overhyped. And look, personally, I have to say this with a whole humility, that I don't envy their lifestyle at all. For example, last year I was in the USA for 6 months because of the lockdown. I couldn't return back to Australia. And that 6 months, I can tell you that I didn't enjoy it at all, because I really I just can. Number one, you won't pay me that kind of a wage that you're paying people like, US is a complete full-on capitalist country. They don't encourage a fair go. If you are rich, then you are super rich. If you are poor, God help you, you will remain poor. There is no middle way about it. So, and that is the gospel truth about a capitalist country. Yes, nurses are paid okay in the US. They get good money, but what happens to the people working as healthcare assistants? What happened to the licensed practical nurse? If you are a registered nurse, maybe you get paid well, but other people, you are just on your own. You just have to find a way of climbing up and joining them up there. Then you can get paid. You can get paid well as well. And people in other industry. My son is just turning 18 in 2 weeks at a time. He's been working since when he was 15, and he goes to work on weekend. And you can imagine a 15-year-old, when he started the first job he was doing, he get paid $17 an hour. And he was still complaining to me that it's too small, that now the job that he's doing now, he has to change a job. The one that he's doing now, he gets paid $23 an hour. And that is a well-regulated system. And he's been working and studying in high school since he found the job himself. He applied for it, and he's been doing that since when he was 15. He's going to be 18 in 2 weeks. So, and that is how the system is. And UK, Josiah, sorry, you still need to relocate. You need to strongly consider that. And I'm telling you,
I'm seriously considering it.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're
talking about. I know you have affinity for UK, but you still need to consider that.
Once we achieve the goal we came for in UK 2023, Australia here will come.
I don't want to bash UK because I don't want to get into trouble with. I don't want to get into trouble with the Queen. I don't want a problem with the Queen. We're still a subject of the Queen, so I don't want the trouble with her.
Okay, so caught my attention. So something caught my attention for what you said. So let's assume a teenager has been working for 3 years in Australia. I'm beginning to imagine when it becomes 25, when it becomes 20, when it becomes 23. You know, I'm having it in my head. I'm like, is it really life we're living in Africa? Because by the time our boy is 23, 25, I can imagine what they were doing, you know? And here is someone working in Africa for 25 years, 30 years, and has nothing to show for it. So we can understand that, if not for anything, even for the sake of these kids, we need to do something about this fast and very, very fast indeed. Any other question? Yeah, I think, Emmanuel, did you see any question there?
Yeah, I'm trying to go through. For now, I don't think they are.
Yeah, I have one. Yeah, it says we've heard a lot about the good areas of being in Australia, but is there a bad side?
To be honest, look, every country has a one area or the other that you might, well, apart from the fact that you might tell me that it's far from Nigeria or it's far from a lot of places, but that could be a good thing on its own. Yes, if we need to travel to Nigeria, we'll have to plan it. Unlike a UK, you can just pick your bag on Friday and say, okay, well, I'm just going to Nigeria for the weekend. But you can't do that in Australia. You have to plan it well. And if you're going for the weekend, if you leave Australia on Friday evening, you might not get to Nigeria until Sunday morning. So... Well, so you can say, and I'm saying that because of the stopover. Most of the time, you might end up having a 12 hours, 10 hours stopover in Dubai or because there's no direct flight. in Dubai or in Doha, or you go through Johannesburg or wherever you decide to travel through. So yes, because of the distance, you might say, okay, well, it's far from everywhere, and but then wherever you can call home is just a home for you. You can make it a home for yourself. And even though it's far from everywhere, I traveled everywhere, and I know Josiah can attest to that. You see me, I will meet in Nigeria, we'll meet in UK, we'll meet everywhere. So I still traveled everywhere. So it depends on what you want for yourself and how you want it. So it doesn't stop you from doing whatever you want for yourself. And you can make it a home. We have fun. We enjoyed ourselves. We do a lot of stuff here. So that's the only thing I can think of. Otherwise, it's a beautiful country, a stable economy, stable government system, very strong multicultural community, low or very, very low on crime, very low on racism. Look, and racism is a thing of the mind. It is everywhere, even in Nigeria, and you can attest to that. You will see somebody, even I'm not even talking about an Igbo guy or a Yoruba guy discriminating against an Igbo guy. You will see an Ijebu person discriminating against an Egba person. So racism is everywhere. It's a thing of the mind. So it now depends on how you handle it. But I can assure you, it is something that get a frown out in Australia. Even if people can do it unconsciously, and once you point it out to them that this is how you feel, they will apologize to you profusely, and that will never happen again. Such behavior will never happen again because they know the implication of that. If you have to make it official, they know what will happen. They know the implication of that. So look, and I in all the ramification, I think Australia still ranks among the best.
Thank you very much, Charles. Mr. Ayala said something the other time when it comes to age. He said it's not the age that really matters. What the quality of application? Is it a study application you are making? Is it a job application? Are you looking for a job? What is the quality as a candidate? How are you attractive to Australia, to Canada? Are you really a candidate that they can see and say, yes, we want you to come over? Have you been able to package yourself? And that's one of the reasons why we put the 4-week coaching program together, where we're able to help people get attractive when it comes to study, when it comes to making applications, study applications, job applications, taking them through the process of what they need to do. And that is why we have that coaching program. So someone has asked, what does the coaching program entail? So let's just quickly run through. What does the 4-week coaching program entail? Basically, the first thing that you are going to have, for example, this coming to UK, you have a full and partial scholarship for certification. We have over 80 accredited certifications and courses that are accredited in UK. And if you're going to Canada, if you're going to Australia, if you're going to US, you can also use the certifications and ask them to help you qualify it. You might not be able to use it directly there, but they can qualify and quantify, look at everything you've got, and that can earn you a lot of advantage when it comes to your track record and your profile. So those certifications are there. Secondly, we're also looking at 4-week post-bootcamp group mentorship, where every week we come on Zoom and ask, are you having a challenge? Are you having any trouble? Do you have anything you want to help us with? Like, for example, someone came yesterday and said, I got an interview on Friday and I really, really need help. I would say, okay, let's fix an interview. Let's fix a drill. And presently, some of our coaching students that will be graduating, we're moving to that aspect of drilling them for interviews, training them on how to answer interview questions, knowing what questions the employer will ask and preparing. These are some of the advantages that you get from the 4-week bootcamp, 4-week post-bootcamp coaching. Apart from that, professional CV and cover letters are very important. you can't apply for a UK job, an Australian job, a Canadian job with an African CV. It's not going to work. And the CV for Europe is different from the UK CV. They are different things. So what we also coach our students on is understanding the basics of international job applications. What does an international CV look like? What does international cover letter look like? How can you transform personally without even us doing anything, without even us touching it? How can you develop the skill of transforming your CV from that tattered looking CV to an international standard CV? How can you compose your cover letter? How can you put everything together? These are the things that some of our coaching students did not even know before they came into the academy. And now some of our coaching students are even ready to now start mentoring and coaching others on this thing. So that's another big advantage you get. Pre-employment training to prepare you for application and job interviews. We have that already. So you get a special training on preparing your job application, going online to search for jobs, going to portals to register and put your CV, your cover letter there so that employers can start writing you. And then post-employment support when you get an offer. Are you going to sit for an interview? Are you going to have a drill? What are the likely questions they're going to ask? How do you answer that interview? So at the end of the interview, they don't even think twice. They want to say, wow, you are so impressive. We want you to join us. And then they call you and send you an offer letter. And apart from that, guidance and counseling till you relocate to the country of choice. Someone was chatting a few days ago about her kids. She wants to relocate and she has 3 kids. What are the options? And we had to sit down and, talk about it. Another person also messaged, and we're going to sort that out during this week. So this support is there for you as part of the coaching community. Orientation by African coaches, expert mentors. We're going to Australia. Charles is here. You can rally around the community in Australia. If you're going to Canada, we have people in Canada. If you're going to US, we have people in US. If you're going to UK, we have people in UK. So wherever you are going, you have that. Because you're going to face a few challenges, first few months of settling down. The coaches are there to make it happen for you. Apart from that, you can always come back to the coaches, run to them, ask questions, get support, get help. And, it's endless. Even after the 4 weeks, you're still coming back and we're still supporting you and helping you till we see your dreams achieved. So it is really making a sense for you to ask someone to hold you by the hand, because this journey sometimes you can be discouraging, but each time you see people, you are around people that are ailing you, that are pushing you on, that are urging you on, that are inspiring you, that are motivating you, you won't even feel tired, even if you meet challenges. And before you know what is happening, your dreams are achieved. So you can't underestimate the power of having career mentors, career coaches holding you by the hand. And those who have gone through the coaching program in the last 2-3 months can testify to it that their lives are never the same again. Even if not for anything, the fact that they are now empowered, they are now have so much energy on this relocation journey, they're not getting tired. Even when they write applications, they're not getting a positive response. It doesn't even move them because they have a lot of motivation, inspiration, and in drive coming up to them. So for those who are still hesitating, signing up for the coaching program, the link is in the comment section. You need to be on the coaching program for July. And the 50% discount is ending tomorrow night. So this is the best time for you to pay half instead of paying the full money. You are paying half of the coaching fee instead of paying the full money. For those asking how much, just go to the link. Everything is there. How much you need to pay. You can even pay a deposit of the 50%. That means 25%. You can even pay a deposit of 50% for the coaching program, and then you are locking down your spot before 12 midnight tomorrow, Sunday, when the 50% off out of the table. I hope we've been able to give people something to relish today. Victoria, Emmanuel, now Bethel, over to you guys.
Thank you very much, Coach JJ. We want to use this opportunity to thank our special guests, our coaches. It's been an exciting evening. Yeah, Dolly Payton once said that the way she sees things is that she wants to get the rainbow, but before you get the rainbow, you gotta pull the work into it, and you have to stay with the rain. And I believe we all here are doing something. We started by signing up for this boot camp, and we've stayed for the longest of time. If you're watching us from YouTube and you feel that you've had a wonderful session, please, you can hit the like button, and you can also subscribe to our channel. It's been a wonderful, wonderful evening. Thank you very much. I think there's a question, one last question for Mr. Charles. Joyce says, is it possible to migrate to Australia as a healthcare assistant without prior healthcare background? Please help us with that question.
Charles, you're muted.
Okay, that's a good question. If you migrating as a to migrate as an healthcare assistant straight from Nigeria without a prior health background, you need to recognize that even if you're going to RPL, you have RPL and experience that you've already got. So if you don't have experience in a healthcare background from Nigeria, then it will be a challenge to migrate as an healthcare assistant. But if you are coming in as a student studying in any field of your choice, you can you don't even need to go sit down in any class to become an healthcare assistant. You can do like an online engagement for 6 weeks to 6 to 10 weeks, and you have your certificate as an healthcare assistant, and then you start doing that job while you study, and you get paid really well. As you know, of students, and most student does is that I know, like during a school period, you probably only allowed to work for like except this pandemic period that they allow students to do any hours of work during a school period. But on a regular time, you do like 20 hours in a week maximum if you're an undergraduate student. But when you're on a school holiday, you can do any hours that you like. And that is the period that most students actually work and earn a lot of money, because the longer vacation will start from the school go on, uni goes on vacation in October, and you don't resume back until March. That is a longer vacation, and most students, they use this period to do a lot of long hours of work. A lot of them, because even most of the financial institution knows how the students work, they actually allows them to have a credit card which they can use to pay their school fees. And during the period when they work, or they allow them a soft loan which they can use to pay their school fees. And when they work during a school holiday, they pay back all those loans, or they pay back their credit card and do all that, and they still have enough money to continue. So that's what most students does to pay their school fees and survive. And you'll be surprised, you see students, they still sending money home to Nigeria to even assist a lot of family members and all that. So yes, the short answer is that you need to, if you're you need a qualification to be able to apply for a job to migrate. And if you don't have that pre-experience or pre-knowledge of it, then it will be difficult for you to migrate without that knowledge. Even but if you are in as a student, is a knowledge that you can acquire within the space of 6 weeks, and you have your qualification, healthcare assistance certificate. It could be certificate 2 or certificate 3 or certificate 4. It goes in a different, or even some they do like a diploma certificate and all that. So you can have any of those qualification, and then you start working in the field.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. I've got a wonderful and exciting announcement, which is very, very important right now. The most exciting session we have been waiting for is happening tomorrow, dated July 3rd, 2022 by 7 p.m. And we're going to be looking at how to migrate to the United Kingdom to practice as healthcare assistants within 6 months or less, with or without IELTS. Even if you're starting your relocation journey for the first time, this is an opportunity to take. I would want to enjoy us not to miss this great opportunity. We want to thank the organizers of this boot camp. My Oga at the top, we are very, 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 very happy. We thank you for creating time to want to help people to live a better life, to get connected to opportunities. Thank you very much. Coach Better, I can see you. Thank you for hanging on, and thank you for being here. If you would like to say one or two before we leave, you can come up on board. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that, Victoria. Coach JJ, I think one of these days we need to bring back Coach Charles. Today's section was really, really explosive.
Okay, let me take that from your mouth. And Coach Charles is permanently joining our coaching crew, and we are available throughout the month of July. That's a big announcement.
Wow. That's a great one. And we want to really appreciate you for today's section. We are really grateful. Actually what Coach JJ said was saying earlier was actually true. I've been on this relocation journey for a while, but it is only UK. My mind has been fixed on UK and UK alone. But now with today's section, I think I need to start decentralizing my options, seeking other countries. Today's section has really been explosive. Thank you very much, Coach Charles. Coach JJ, I don't know if
let me also make another sweet announcement. For all our coaching students that are passing out next week and those that are coming in, we are also looking at the possibility of them getting a full sponsorship short course, fully sponsored short course in either Norway, Sweden, or Netherlands, based on their profession and their place of work, where they can go briefly and then come back, and then it will appear on their visa that at least they've gone out and come back. And this is something that can happen within the next 6 months. We are also working on that. So for all our questions today,
that's so lovely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Coach JJ.
Coach JJ, for you.
Like I said earlier, the African North Network is not yet to play. And I believe we are all getting value for the token we paid. Because if we are to equate the token we paid to the value we are getting, is not it at all. Thank you very much to all the coaches. Coach JJ, I don't know if Coach Rama is still on board. Or
No. Mr. Rama is a overseas career consultant. He's not a coach, but he's not on board.
Okay.
But we're bringing him back to the community because he has something exciting to help us with. Kate is raising, and we need to go now.
Sorry, guys, I need to take my leave. I've been up since 3:30, so I probably need to catch up a little bit of sleep again. Sorry.
A standing ovation for Coach Charles. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much, Coach Charles.
Thank you very much.
Sleep away. We appreciate your coming, and hoping the students will be excited to see you in July.
No worries. See you all again.
Bye. Take care. Okay, Emmanuel, I think we can call it a day now. Today has been
all right. So I'll be passing the mic over to Damilola. I think she has 1 or 2 things to say.
Okay. They say every day you meet people, you get an opportunity to learn new things. I never knew that you could go abroad and get a master's degree even without a first degree. And today was an eye-opener. I'm really excited. I feel like just living right now. So thank you very much, Coach JJ, for organizing this, for giving us the opportunity to get connected to powerful information that you cannot get anywhere. I can assure you, you can't get this anywhere. So we want to thank everyone that have been with us on board. Want to thank you for sticking with us, and we actually promise for more packages. So stay connected with us, invite more persons to enjoy the same thing you're enjoying right now. Thank you very much, everyone. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Victoria. Can we have
Thank
the
you,
parting
Emmanuel,
shot
for
from
staying here.
our coaches? Coach Bethel, can
Bethel,
we
you
have
have
your
anything
parting
to say?
shot?
Oh, wow. It's been an awesome moment. It's been great. It's been back-to-back learning, listening, watching, and just, taking in everything from Mr. Charles to Mr. Lassisi and then to JJ and then to everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you, participants from the YouTube channel and the Zoom room. Thank you for sticking around till this time. It shows that you are determined and you're willing to take the first step, which is getting the right kind of information to help you in your journey. Thank you very much. And I would just like to part this moment by still saying what I started with. Whether you think you can and you think you can't, you are right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Coach Bethel. Coach JJ, can we have your parting shot, please?
Tomorrow is going to be on fire. Don't even try to miss it. Tomorrow is going to be sweet. Don't miss tomorrow's session. If you're watching live on YouTube, join our community. If you're watching live on Zoom, spread the word out. Whatever publicity we have shared it among your friends, your community, your WhatsApp groups, and tell them that they can't afford to miss tomorrow. So we're urging all of you that on the WhatsApp groups, on Telegram, the invitation for tomorrow, we're going to share it. Please share it outside Telegram, outside WhatsApp, and let more people come and join tomorrow. And you don't know who you might be helping. See you guys tomorrow.
Thank you very much for that. Damilola, can we have your parting shot,
Thank
please?
you, everyone. Emmanuel, thank you. Thank you, Coach Bethel. Have a lovely night.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thank you. From my own side, I'll say follow person way no road. Thank you very much. So we meet tomorrow evening by 7 p.m. Bye. Till then, see you. Thank you.
See you all. Bye.